The Last of Us 2 has been a big topic in gaming since its release, with some despising it and some cherishing it. I'm on the side of cherishing it. I'm Zane Kane, and today I'm going to tell you why, because this is 5 reasons Last of Us Part 2 is a masterpiece. Number 5, realistic relationships. This game is very emotional, and it plays with your view of who you favor and who you don't, so for this to work, the relationships between these characters need to feel real. I felt like Naughty Dog hit the nail on the head with most relationships in this game, and they seem like you could be watching real people interacting with each other. The relationship between Dina and Ellie is really good as well. It's a massive achievement for them. Their interactions never really seem forced at all, and that's something that most developers make the mistake of doing. They almost seem too intimate at times in some games, to the point where it would never actually happen in a normal setting in real life. The awkward sexual tension between the two at the start of The Last of Us Part 2 is also played off very well. It comes across clean, it doesn't come across as forced, and the relationship between Owen and Abby also comes off very natural too, with the constant battle in Owen's head coming to light when we realize he actually wants to be with Abby and not Mel, so Owen is a completely different person when he's with Abby, and if someone was battling those thoughts in their head, that's realistically how they're gonna play it off. So it's really nice to see something realistic in a video game when it comes to relationships and interactions. There's so many others I can go through, but overall, the relationships and interactions between these characters in the game are perfectly made by Naughty Dog. And another thing perfectly made by Naughty Dog is number 4, graphics. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but the graphics in this game are tremendous. This might be the game that I think tests the PlayStation hardware to the max. I've never seen something that looks this good in a video game. It's truly amazing. Also, along with the graphics, the face movements actually look so real that you swear you're watching a live-action movie. It's pretty crazy. This adds a lot to the game too, with cutscenes feeling more real, and you feel more connected to it because you feel like you could actually see this happen. This is truly the pinnacle of video game graphics for now. And at number 3, we have variety of enemy types. One of my personal problems with the first Last of Us game was that I felt there was not enough types of zombies, and there was really too many clickers in the game. There could have been so many different challenging zombie types to go through, but they just didn't do that. This was worked on a lot in this game though, with the full list of zombie types expanding quite a bit. The first game you only had the infected, the stalkers, the clickers, and bloaters, but the bloaters were only used for boss type battles, which was kind of disappointing. So this game really stepped it up, because in this game we had runners and shamblers adding to the list, with bloaters being more of a heavy zombie type rather than a boss, because the bosses in this game were Patient Zero and the Rat King, and those bosses were awesome. These additions round out the list much more, and they make the game so much better because you really never know what zombie type you're going to run into around the corner. I would personally rather have sections of different kinds of zombies personally than move around clickers for 90% of the game like Last of Us 1. And coming in at number 2, it's Abby. Okay, now before you lose it on me in the comments for saying this, hear me out. Of all the characters in this entire game, there is not one character with a better story and character development than Abby. She's the true hero of the entire series, as she never asked to be pulled into any of this mess. She was just living her life, and then Joel came in and screwed it all up. You can argue that the Fireflies were bad, sure, but Abby is in no way a bad person during any part of this entire series. She is the true hero. After Joel kills her father, she rightfully hunts Joel down and gives him a death he absolutely deserved. Joel deserved to get beaten senselessly like that and die. I am fully behind that death and don't think it was a bad decision at all. Joel was not a hero. He deserved it. Another reason Abby truly is the best character is because she eventually learns that revenge is a dangerous path that only gets those around her hurt. She moves on, and even after Ellie kills all her friends and her love interest, she decides to let her go so those around her can stop getting hurt. Ellie, of course, decides to not let it go until the very end, when it's too late and she's already lost everyone. Abby also has some of the best parts of the game when you play as her, especially when you're running away from the endless horde of zombies in the snow, you're escaping the Scar Island, and of course, the number 1 reason why The Last of Us 2 is a masterpiece, Ground Zero. Ladies and gentlemen, this part of the game was amazing. 10 out of 10, perfect, untouchable. This one level makes the entire price tag of the game worth it. I have never played a part of a zombie game that was as terrifying as this. Searching through the dark, pitch-black hospital with nothing but a flashlight sent chills down my spine. It also doesn't help that the floor you're on is classified as ground zero, which means this is where the virus started, which means there's going to be lots of zombies. So you're already anticipating some crazy stuff to go down, and crazy stuff is kind of an understatement for what goes down. You think, well, once you get the lights on, things are gonna be dandy and things are gonna be good, nothing's gonna go wrong, and that your worries are over. But it continues to get more and more crazy until you meet a monster that makes Resident Evil monsters look like child's play. This abomination leads to an unreal close quarters battle that feels like a love child between the Evil Within and Resident Evil, but on steroids. I applaud Naughty Dog for this part of the game because it was one of the best parts of a zombie game ever. And that's our list. You are now free to rip everything I said apart in the comments, since I know you probably want to. Make sure to subscribe to the 416 Warriors for more montages, playthroughs, lists, and more to come. I've been Zane Kane for the 416 Warriors, and I will see you next time.